This bitch, yeah, this bitch. This motherfucker was probably the scariest out of all the Courage episodes. This was probably the scariest. Reapers, what's his good? It's your boy Laser. Use the voice back with another scary reaction video. He's on the scary content. So continue to do that. You guys invented the top 5 scary kids shows with dark origins. Guys, there's so many traumatizing kids shows out there. Without showing you scary content. Use more scary videos, features, hit the like button. You subscribe to notification bell icon to stream every night on Twitch. Go check she's fucking amazing. Let's not destroy it. Use the video.
From time to time. If you don't keep them on their toes, they'll end up stilted and unable to deal with the terrors of daily life. So what better place to start them on their horrifying journey through personhood than with the shows they ravenously consume daily? Let's be real. Cartoons with a little darkness and realism injection were the best ones anyways.
Oh,
I would
shit.
name some toothless, boring, white bread kids shows, but I can't remember any of them. Go figure.
Oh, this is a goated. This whole lore is goated.
So let's spend some time celebrating the programs with a little petrifying punch every once in a while, Hello, horrorheads, and welcome back to the scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos.
Here we go.
I'm your horror host, Keegan Hughes, and today we're going to be counting down the top 5 scary kids shows with dark origins. Strap in, because you're about to make some realizations that may or may not contradict your view of the media you once consumed. Before we get started, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more freaky friends. Perfect. Let's begin. Coming in at number 5, we've got Thomas the Tank Engine. If you can look past the insidiously infectious rhythms of the theme song, you'll find a lot more than you expected. After a short time in the meme spotlight a few years back, Thomas the Tank Engine reignited public interest. Folks who felt a nostalgic twinge
Thomas the Tank Engine.
upon seeing the plate-faced locomotives revisited the show and discovered that it was much bleaker than they remembered. Sure, by today's standards, the toy trains are a little creepy looking, but kids at the time loved them. I have a vague recollection of watching—
Man, bro, I literally played like a whole ass train horror game, man. I literally played a game where there's a fucking train where you just massacre my pee-pee. Look at him, bro. Look at this grin.
Thomas as a kid, with most episodes being about friendship or teamwork or some other standard moralistic tale. However, these memories are wrong, like super wrong. There's actually plenty of weird stuff going on here. Nothing is as friendly as it seems, with the island of trains being filled with authoritarian attitudes and gruesome punishments. The fat controller isn't a jolly rotund friend, no, he is a dictator who will not be—
Dictator? Is this fucking Humpty Dumpty if he had like, some tuxedo fucking stage, bro? I don't know, phase or whatever the fuck you call it. Look at him, bro.
Frost. Throughout the show, he severely punishes vehicles for acting out of line and ensures that a caste system maintains order. Steam trains are considered the superior vehicle in this world, actively encouraged to stomp out and cannibalize lesser diesel trains and off-rail vehicles. All sorts of lunacy ensues, much of it sort of Orwellian in scope. There's one episode where a train doesn't want to go to work in the rain. So what do you think happens? Is he docked pay? Is he scolded? Maybe he's convinced by his friends that a hard day's work will solve—
Oh, look at all that oil going down him. Look at all that nasty ass anal oil. That liquid squirt. Smell it, bitch.
all of his problems? No. He's entombed alive and left without any fuel or track with which to move. Day in, day out, he is left in a bricked up tunnel, cursed to watch other trains joyfully pass by. Some say hello and others snub him entirely. The narrator of the original episode even claims that he deserves his punishment. Essentially, the lesson from this episode boils down to play your part in the capitalist structure or die in darkness while everyone laughs. Thomas. Other scary episodes include things like turning a standoffish train into a generator, doomed to—
No, like just imagine being a train, bro, and then someone just takes you off the rails, because the rails is how you get horny as shit. You're just a train, bro, and then someone decides to take you off the rails and just block you like this. Like, look at this poor fucker. Look at him. He's so adorable.
to remain still for the rest of his life, trapping a revolution-touting bus under a bridge and turning him into a henhouse, and even subjecting a troublesome truck to dismemberment torture, pulling it apart at both ends. All of this seems benign because they're just vehicles, but in this universe they're sentient. It's absolutely insane. The author of the books this show is based on was an Anglican minister with a penchant for punishment, so maybe all of this isn't so surprising. Biblical torture for the heretics and heathens, I suppose. Just not what anyone was expecting from a cutesy train show. Coming in at number 4, we got Casper the Ghost. The friendly ghost at that. There are multiple iterations of this little phantom, portraying him in different ways. However, there's no avoiding the grim reality behind the specter.
Grim
Casper
Reaper.
was once just a little living boy. Child ghosts don't appear.
Casper's always giving me erections, man. Look at him. Look at Casper. Wait, Casper's legal, right?
Here to nowhere, you know. For Casper the friendly ghost to float around seeking playmates, there had to be a
Never mind.
Casper the friendly boy at some
That picture in the
point,
back?
and that friendly boy had to die before reaching maturity.
What is this from, bro? I've seen this shit before. What is this from? I swear I've seen this shit before. What is that?
My goodness. For most of his published time, Casper's pre-spirit origins were kept under wraps, but if you take a look at the 1995 live-action movie, you'll learn that he died of pneumonia. Oh wow. Not exactly the image one wants to conjure up when thinking of cute little Casper. Another thing one has to consider when pondering the Phantom is that ghosts don't just stick around for no reason. Most originate
Casper.
through grisly deaths and have some unfinished business. But Casper doesn't seem to remember any of this, and nobody appears to want to help release him from this world. He's cursed to remain between life and the afterlife, desperately seeking friends to no avail. It's tragic, really. In earlier cartoons, we also see him literally trying to kill himself on multiple occasions. A standard story would play out like this. Casper's moping around, attempts to make friends with something living, scares off that living
Casper's got a shotty now. Ooh. Make out, make out, make out, make out. Come on. Do it so I can slit my throat.
thing, Casper returns to moping. Often, the secondary moping would result in a suicide attempt, ranging from laying down on train tracks to walking off cliffs. He's already dead though, so his situation never changes. Coming in at number 3, we've got Pokemon. First things first, the world of Pokemon is based on an extremely violent premise. Free-roaming children who leave their home at the age of 10 to force animals to fight for their amusement. Just ponder that for a moment or two. Pets and livestock alike are regularly used in this world's favorite pastime, cockfighting. The same creatures that
Did you say cockfighting? What the fuck?
power large-scale power plants and are used by law enforcement to take down
You know what's crazy, bro? I never was like... I think Pokemon's cool, but I was just never into it. Like, Pokemon's always been that one thing I've always heard of, like, seen everywhere in my fucking goddamn face and everything. Like, I've seen it more times than, like, I think I've fapped. Like, Pokemon, like, it's one of those things, like, everyone fucking knows I know. It's just I've never had interest in it, you know? I remember playing Pokemon Go back in, like, when it was popular in, like, 2016. It's crazy to think that's still a thing. Like, do motherfuckers really just casually still do that shit in, like, 2024? The app's still a thing. Apparently, it's still actually kind of popular. Like, do motherfuckers really still walk around and do that shit? I remember 2016, that was, like, the biggest fucking thing. I never really cared too much about it, but I don't know. That was, like, probably the only time. I remember playing it, and then I couldn't get into it. I never was a Pokemon person, bro. I always was into, like, fucking, I don't know. There was a lot of weird phases growing up that I remember were popular. I remember the Beyblade phase. That wasn't weird. That was cool as shit. I loved the Beyblades. The silly band era, like, Pokemon's wasn't really a phase. It's always been, like, a popular thing, but I'm just thinking of all, like, the trends that I've encountered as a kid growing up.
criminals are regularly placed in the hands of children who then sick them on their friends. It is absolutely insane that everyone is given a living weapon when they enter the 5th grade. Like, here you go, Veronica, your very own living flamethrower. Make sure to train it well or it might scorch some poor old lady sitting at the park. Let's take it a step further into the lore though. While not often explicitly mentioned, there have been multiple large-scale wars in the Pokemon world, and they're serious business too. Usually, Pokemon only faint when they're defeated, but there's plenty of evidence pointing to real Pokemon and human death during the larger conflicts. Let's consider the Kalos War for a moment. Thousands of years ago, there was a Pokemon war where thousands of creatures battled for reasons that aren't entirely clear to me. This information is brought to light by AZ,
Cut your hair, bitch.
or Az, not really sure, who is a human who seemingly has the key to eternal life. He was alive during this war and was deeply disturbed by the death of his companion Pokemon, Floette. Driven mad by this discovery, he toiled to find a method of bringing it back to life. Eventually, he did find
Cut your hair, bitch.
a way to reverse death, but at the cost of the lives of other Pokemon. Still, he went through with it. He also created something known as the Ultimate Weapon, a sort of nuclear device meant to be used for wide-scale destruction. Not what you would expect from Pokemon, right? And that wasn't the last war either. It's theorized that a few years before the events of Pokemon Red and Blue, there was
Oh no, dig in, buddy. Lift up.
another war, a war so deadly it caused a huge gap between generations. Pretty much anyone of age to enlist was killed, leaving behind a few war vets and a whole lot of broken families. In fact, some theorize that Red's dad died in the war and Blue was orphaned by the combat. Sure, they try to hide the violence at the core of their society, but the world of Pokemon is a lot more gruesome than one would think. Coming in at number 2, we've got Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Dude, I swear the show was a whole ass fever dream. I've seen it so many times in every video I reacted to. I made so many TikToks on it. This shit was a whole ass fever dream. Like, damn, motherfucker, like, was going through all those different episodes of crazy.
The first and only horror cartoon picked up by Cartoon Network, Courage the Cowardly Dog left an indelible mark on the minds of a generation. Essentially surviving for 4 seasons because the showrunners managed to deliver consistently and on time.
Oh, what the fuck? Look at this buddy, bro. Stupid dog. I swear this motherfucker went through every goddamn possible trauma. More than me, bro, which says a lot. I've been through it all, bro. Man, this motherfucker. It's crazy how, like, funny. What's the irony? Oh, yeah, the irony is how they call him coward, but, like, really he wasn't a coward because he always ended up. I think that was, well, I mean, he was coward. He was like a coward, but like he wasn't a coward. Like, I think the irony was he always ended up actually like facing all the evil shit and got through it. So like technically, is he really a coward dog? You know what I'm saying? But I swear I felt so bad for this dog, bro. The grandpa was a bitch. The grandma was I think the grandma was nice. I think the grandma was actually really nice with him. But this dog never could catch a fucking break. I swear the show was so goated though. Everything about the show was so fucking good.
It's not hard to see why networks were reluctant to do anything similar. Originating in the mind of John R. Dilworth, Courage was spawned from a short film called The Chicken from Outer Space. This animated
Devil eyes.
short would become the sort of pilot for Courage and the benchmark for what kind of stuff they would do. There are dozens of absolutely terrifying episodes of this show, all set against the backdrop of a ramshackle house in middle of nowhere America. Now, who could forget King Ramses with his cursed tablet and his weird spliced-in 3D animation? There's a certain quality to him floating off in the distance that makes him stick in your mind for years. Then
I'll take this in my head.
there's the Spirit of the Harvest Moon, adding in some Méliès-style humor.
Swear, like, I don't know if there was this. This isn't the scariest one. I think the scariest one was that fucking dentist bitch. What was it? Was it a dentist bitch? The motherfucker that was like. Was it the dent? Was it like some doctor? I don't fucking remember. Was it a doctor, a dentist? I don't remember. I think that was like probably the scariest episode. The fucking the hotel one. I think there was like a whole like saga on that shit. Like there was multiple episodes like connecting to that. That fucking hotel. That hotel was it called? It was like that hotel that was like hell and was ran by that cat or whatever. I don't fucking remember. And like the music was so creepy for it.
Faces to the moon. It was creepy in 1902 and it's creepy now. Freaky Fred.
This bitch. Yeah, this bitch. This motherfucker was probably the scariest out of all the Courage episodes. This was probably the scariest. This shit was traumatizing.
Freaked out all sorts of kids with his hair fetish and rhyme scheme style of speaking. And then there's that blue fetus fish thing from the episode Perfect. Honestly, I didn't want to go to
The
sleep.
show is a whole fever dream, bro. Dude, I swear on my mom, bro. I swear, I just want to fucking. I will literally. I'm not. Look, I'm gonna be completely real. I can't sit down and watch shows because like. My ADHD just goes, movies, whatever. But it's like, I would fucking kill to watch this shit. I would fucking kill to watch, like, binge watching. If there's one show I would be okay with binge watching, it would be Courage. I would fucking kill to binge watch this shit, this entire show, in, like, one sitting. Hell, even, I'm gonna be for real, I don't smoke anymore, but it's like, I wouldn't mind, binge watching this shit goddamn high, bro, I would so want it. That's the dream, bro. Like just binge watching Courage the Cowardly Dog, the whole thing like high as shit. I don't smoke anymore. I don't plan on doing it again. But if I ever do plan on smoking again, like if I ever do want to like get high again, bro, off like weed, I've only done weed, bro. I don't plan on doing anything else. Stick to weed. You shouldn't do weed, but stick to weed. But if I ever did any like sort of like, if I ever wanted to get high again, it would only be just to watch this shit, and that's it. And it's crazy because I might have to do it in the future. Like, just that's the dream. Just binge watching Courage, bro. You know, I mean, for real, you don't even have to do it high, but I think it would just be cool to watch this shit high as fuck. Because this shit was a whole fever dream. Like, everything about it. This would be the perfect show to watch high. I would watch this shit high with, like, a fucking soulmate or, like, friend, bro. I'm going to do that shit in the future. I'm going to do it in the future. I gotta try it. Maybe not. I don't know if I'll do it high, but I'm going to definitely binge watch this shit with someone. I want to do it with someone, bro. Come on. That would be so fun. If I'm ever going to binge watch a show again, it would be this shit. And if I'm ever going to get high again, which I don't want to, I quit a while ago. I quit almost 2 years ago. But it's like, if I ever do, it would just be just to watch this shit, and it would be with someone else. I might have to. I don't know.
Sleep after watching that because I thought it might reach out to me.
I probably won't do it high, but I don't know.
The weird monsters and creatures were the star of the show for sure, but the darkest part might be the recurring characters. Muriel is a kind-hearted, clueless old woman, and Eugene is a selfish sociopath of a husband. Some theorize that the beasts and baddies were just figments of Courage's imagination.
Yeah, this was the grandma. Yeah, she was always pretty nice, but she had some weird shit with her. I don't know. She was always like untrustworthy. I think there was like times where like she led the dog to fucking bad shit.
And ways for him to cope with the terrible treatment that the
But she was always good though with him as far as like being nice.
And imposes on his wife and dog. There's no escape for Courage, so he dreams up evil creature after evil creature to do combat with. And finally at number 1, Adventure Time. Come on and grab your friends.
Adventure Time.
Run as far away as possible.
What is this shit from though, bro? I swear I've seen this shit. What is this from? What is this from? What is this from? I've seen this shit before. I swear I've seen this shit before. What is this from? It looks so damn familiar.
Nukes are dropping. Seriously, Adventure Time might have one of the darkest worlds in any children's show. Sure, it's all very cutesy and colorful and fun, but
look at Potato Head. Oh, dude, she was always fun as shit. I used to have Adventure Time was always that one show I never really watched, but I would see like clips of it and shit. I so would smash her, bro. Oh my god. She was legal though, right? She's legal, right? We got Mr. This show was always, I liked Adventure Time. I never was like into it like regular show, but regular show was better. But I thought Adventure Time was pretty good.
That's just a veneer hiding the rot at the core. The land of Ooh is a post-apocalyptic world, the result of nuclear fallout from the Mushroom War. Humans were all but wiped out and civilization was crushed. Technology zapped. Gone. The Candy Kingdom is a kingdom of lies built upon a nuclear cesspool and ruled by a dictatorial pink princess. Remnants of a broken society can be found all over, from corpses to gutted cars to old bridges and decrepit cities, and that's just the start. Now the land of Ooh is stalked by a host of horrifying creatures intent on killing and maiming and more. There's the inhabitants of the Nightosphere, there's the amnesia-inducing stag, there's the creepy floating blank-eyed girls, and of course, the Lich King. For a show ostensibly aimed at children, there is a whole lot of mature subject matter. This contributes to Adventure Time's lasting appeal, but geez, how do they manage to air this? Boom. Now that I've opened your eyes to the horrors of children's television, go ahead and rewatch some of your favorites. I'll bet you'll find something you didn't previously noticed.
Well guys, this is video. I hope you enjoyed, guys. Which one of those kid shows was the most scared of you? If you were scared content, you don't scare. I'll see you next one. Peace.